Well, hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
How is everybody tonight? All right, as you are jumping on, comment live if you are watching live. Comment replay if you are watching us a little bit later on the replay. And if you were invited to watch this by a member of our stylist team, go ahead and tag them in the comments so that he or she knows that you are here. I know it takes a second for everybody to find us, but welcome on, everybody. Are we still in our deep freeze? Let's find out. Let's find out. Not that Jen's in a deep freeze.
No, I'm not.
No, he's wearing a sweater. But what's the degrees where you are? Tell us in the comments.
Because we have fresh snow, icy. What's the level of? Are you snow on top of the ice? What's happening? Are you going outside and ice fishing? What's going on?
It's so unusual that it's like half the country or more that gets it all at the same time. This deep freeze is really enveloping a lot of us. And Jen's like, yeah, that's why I live in Fresno, California. I want no part of it.
No, thankfully it's bright and sunny today. We have been dealing with fog, okay? You know, we maybe get a little weather. I know you feel so sad for me.
Was it not sunny
today? Okay, but I'm totally loving that orchid necklace with your sweater. Talk about a little bright spot in a cloudy day.
That's what it is sometimes. Pretty. I'm like, you know what? I can do warm clothing in spring colors and like manifest it. Manifest the warm weather.
Absolutely. Well, I love it. And is it Viper you have on the top?
I did put Viper on with it. I felt like it needed a little friend.
Definitely.
But I still, because I did big earrings today with the Coralie, I was like, let me keep the necklace a little less. But
it's a perfect balance.
Here's my idea, though. Doesn't the Coralie look like the patchwork on the sweater? That's why I did that.
Yes. As soon as you pulled your earrings back, I knew exactly where you were going with that because it does. I love it. It's so fun to just be able to play with jewelry. And the fact that this gets to just be our job every day, doesn't that just make you smile?
It really does. It really does.
I love it. Well, I think that kind of is a great segue into why we're here tonight, right?
I agree. Let's go ahead.
All right. Well, like Michelle said, I'm Jen and I am from California. Michelle is from Long Island, New York, and coast to coast here. So fill us in, let us know where you are watching from tonight. And, you know, I love this chat because we really get to share why we're here, why we love Park Lane, and kind of answer some of those questions that we often see after working with a lot of new stylists, working with leaders that have previous experience. They kind of come and they ask these four main questions. So that's where we're going to kind of land on tonight. But of course, if you have additional questions, there'll be a survey that you can fill out at the end. You can drop them in the comments here. And we'd love to answer all of those things. So, Michelle, tell us why direct sales, for someone that has never been in the direct sales industry, why is it something that's beneficial?
Yeah, you know, both Jen and I came to direct sales. It's at like a similar time of life and have both gotten such wide-ranging things out of it, as have so many members of our team. Because before I even answer that exact question, let's go back a bit into, you know, what is it that you are looking for that brought you here tonight? Because almost 6 years ago now, but 25 years ago, I was a teacher on maternity leave, and I wanted to find a way to extend that maternity leave past the summer. So like 25 years ago right now, really 26 years ago, I was home with a newborn baby on maternity leave. And then I used all my FMLA, and then now it's the springtime. Now, of course, the summer has come and school is closed. And when school started in September, I wanted to continue that maternity leave. However, at that time, we were paying a Cobra to be on my health insurance because my husband back in those days was the one that was self-employed. And that meant if I was going to continue to stay home, something needed to come up with $600 a month because that's how much the Cobra cost. So that's what my husband and I discussed. And it was like, okay, well, last year I had that party. Now it wasn't Park Lane, but I had a party where the person who did my party told me that she made $200. So I was like, okay, well then it seems to me that if I did 3 parties a month, I'll have $600 and I can extend my maternity leave and stay home. So that's what I did. In June of 2000, I bought a starter kit. I did 3 parties and my paycheck for the month came to $604.62. And my husband and I were like, oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. So that's just how it goes. You kind of decide how much you need and then just do that amount of shows. That seems pretty straightforward. So since I only left my house 3 times out of an entire month, it was like, well, that was pretty fun. So maybe I'll do 5 parties. So we have 1,000, 600, and then we'll have 400 whole extra dollars to do stuff with. Yes. So I did that in July. And then in August, did it again, but somebody wanted to join me. And I was like, oh, wait, you make money for that too? Like they pay you more because people join your team? Well, that's exciting. And meanwhile, thank goodness, because as it turns out, I was now pregnant with my next baby. And even if I had gone back to school in September, I would have gone out on maternity leave again the very next school year because he was due in April. So I just ended up continuing to stay home. I stayed on that path actually, because then 2 years after that, when my FMLA was up and I should have gone back now, I was having my daughter. And I was like, you know what? I'm clearly not going back. I'm just going to let somebody else have tenure and continued with that. So I stayed on that path for 14 years until Park Lane called me, asked if I would like to have an interview to hear about my leadership experience and to hear about Park Lane's programs, because I qualified for the direct appoint program, where if you have leadership experience, built a team, are a trainer, things like that, that you can come in as a leader. So I initially wasn't even going to do that because I'm like, well, I'm not really looking to make a change. And they said, well, don't you kind of, as a business person, want to know what's out there? And I was like, yeah, I guess I kind of do. Oh. So in really exactly now, 12 years ago. Yeah, it's starting to become closer in on like how long I was at.
Amazing.
Because in January of 2014, I went on an interview at Park Lane and truly could not believe my eyes and ears. And one of the biggest parts of my job now, and Jen's job and all of the leaders on our team, is to be able to teach the business to other people and to share the business opportunity with anyone who wants to hear about it, right? Which might be customers, hostesses, strangers on the street, whoever wants to know, right? People we find on Facebook, right? And in order for me to do that with a clear conscience, 25 years in business, 26 years in business, I have to know that what I am sharing is, to my knowledge, the best of what's out there. And for the first 14 years of my business, I thought I was doing that. And then that interview showed me that that actually was not the case. And once I knew about Park Lane's programs, then it was actually not going to be possible for me to stay anymore where I was, because I knew that there was more money to be made. I knew that there was a place that there's no demotions. I knew there was a place that you didn't have to requalify, that you would never get knocked down, have things taken away, and started at a higher commission than I started at, maxed out at a much higher commission than I could ever dream to reach, higher overrides on downline, weekly pay, free product to be earned every single month, 2 trips a year instead of 1. How do you stay? I could not stay, knowing that what I had here was more and better. So that's why now I'm here since January of 2014, and now get to work with Jennifer and all of the amazing people on this team. Yeah. And why I got to watch Jennifer also start when she had she started with a toddler and a practically newborn baby. Yeah. And she was working full time at the time. So really great to see someone like Jen, who came in with no sales experience at all, learn from the nitty gritty from scratch, grow to executive level leadership, quit her job, be able to be a full-time park laner, and then all of us on this team working towards all those different types of goals that are out there. So of what you just heard, what applies to you? Like, do you work full-time? Do you work part-time? Mm-hmm. Are you a parent? Are you someone who volunteers in your community? Do you take care of aging parents? Do you have bills that are dogging you and preventing you from moving forward, right? That was a big part of Jen's, right? She's going to share more detail on this in a second. But like, these are all the things that people on our team are paying off, have paid off, are saving up for, and are the things that direct sales enables you to do. Because what direct sales does is let you earn an income around the life you already live. In Jen's case, take it away. The life was.
Yeah, so I had a 3-month-old and a 2.5-year-old. And when my dear friend said, oh my gosh, you should do this. I'm having so much fun and I think you'd be great at it. And I said, well, what do I have to lose, right? You can't tell your best friend no. And then as my husband and I were talking about it, we thought, man, it would be really cool if we had an additional stream of income coming in that we could name to pay off my student loans. Because of course, having a 2.5-year-old and a newborn, we realized that things were going to start getting very expensive. And to be able to get rid of that student loan payment would really free up a lot of money. And so I continued to work full time and just fit Park Lane into those little areas of life, whether it was, going out on a Friday night and having a party with some girls, whether it was having a online show on a Sunday evening, right? What worked for our set schedule and how I could fit those into the pockets of time, and then be able to start paying off that student loan until we made that final payment. Just very shortly.
What's better than a final payment of anything?
Literally nothing. There is nothing. And we've made a few final payments over the years as we've continued to shift that money and name it for different things over the years, and working it alongside my full-time job for a handful of years. And then in January of 2021, my company was making some changes, and I said, I don't want to be a part of those changes. I love what I have built here with Park Lane. And I'm going to say no. I'm going to work my absolute dream job. And that was to be flexible, to be able to stay home with my kids, raise them, be present as they are going off to school, work as much or as little as I want in the school, right? And help to kind of do some of those fun things as well. And it's funny, my daughter actually just recently asked me, Mom, what did you want to be when you grew up, when you were little? And I said, I wanted to be a mom. Like, that legitimately was what I wanted to be. And the fact that I get to live out this dream in a flexible income and flexible time way is just such a beautiful thing. And of course, we paid off those student loans, and now we've gotten to shift what that money goes towards. Other credit cards, vacations, right? We've done Disney vacations with the kiddos. We're getting ready to go on a cruise with the kiddos. And so to be able to just change and pay regular bills, right? Car payment bills and keeping the lights on bills, like those kinds of things that are really important.
Those little things like rent and electricity. And
there's those
all
too.
The things.
Yeah. And so to be able to have that flexibility to shift how much we need to make when there are emergencies that come up, or, shift what the time looks like from month to month, and really be able to be in control of that income is really powerful. And I can do it without having another boss, right? For those years that I was working full time, I didn't have another boss that was telling me, oh, well, you need to work on Saturdays from 9 to 1 and you're going to miss out on T-ball, right?
Right.
Or, oh, well, you're going to have to work the 10 to midnight closing shift, right? Whatever it is.
You're going to have to not sleep.
Right, because then you're gonna have to wake up and go take your kids to school. I didn't have to do that, right? I got to choose when I was working the full-time job, and now I truly get to choose when I work and work it around our family's schedule and the taxi driving season that I'm in now with my children.
Oh my gosh, been there. You know, because now Jen's kids are later elementary, mid to later elementary. My kids are out of the house. They are living in the city. They work. My daughter's graduating college. So my final payment recently was our final tuition payment after years and years of college and private school before that and all kinds of things. And you know what? That was, you know, we've been talking for quite a few minutes now, and it's like, yeah, that life sounds great. Well, you know what? If you want to be involved in some sort of business, in some sort of direct sales company that you're going to represent, you want to pick the right one. And now we are going to just bang out for you right now the reasons why Park Lane is the right one. Yeah. Because there are, I don't even know how many direct sales companies out there. And we know about a lot of them just because of, you know, the direct appoint program that I spoke about earlier means that not only do I know about my own previous compensation plan, but I know about a lot of companies' compensation plans from when we have direct appoints come from other companies as well. And time again, I sit on meetings where people say, I can't believe that Park Lane has fill in the blank. I never had that. Or I can't believe they don't have that. I've always lived under this like squashing thumb. Yeah. So that's what we want to talk about, because if you're going to make a living, or if you're going to at least be supplementing your income with a direct sales company, the programs that they have need to be able to support the goals that you have, right? Because if I need a certain amount of money, like Jen had she knew how much the payment was. So if we're going to pay this down, I need X amount of dollars to come in every single month, just like I needed that $600. Well, what are the programs here at Park Lane? So if you are hearing Park Lane for the very first time, we are a fashion jewelry company, fine fashion jewelry, which is the level in between costume and fine. Mm-hmm. Costume jewelry is what you see in the mall, and like, you know, the jewelry that breaks and falls apart and turns your body colors and turns itself colors and all the things, the earrings that make your ears feel sore and all of those things. Fine jewelry is what's at Tiffany's, what's at the jewelry store, you know, and fashion is everything in between of that, which means that it's the elevated materials, 18 to 22 karat electroplated gold. We have glass pearls. We have genuine quartz. We have cubic zirconia, like all of these high-end materials at a price point that is friendly for all, with a sale that's incredible. So we are selling jewelry. We are part of the fashion industry, and you can be too. So what are the programs? The first program that many of you may know, because many of you watching have shopped with us, is of course the customer program. Mm-hmm. And that's our sale. Now, Jen, your first, you know, comeuppance with the company was as a customer. You attended and I mean, as most of you, the sale knocks your socks off, right?
It totally does.
It's a long time ago now, but your first experience was as a customer, mm-hmm. and you liked it enough to host a party for your friends. Yep. So, you know, women don't just do that for no reason. They're like, I love the jewelry. The price was good. I'd like mm-hmm. to tell my friends about it so that they can shop too. And it doesn't hurt that I get free jewelry. That's kind of combining two of the two programs, right? Mm-hmm. So Jen, you're in business 10
Yeah, 10
years. And sometimes people will say to us like, oh, how are you still having parties? Haven't all your friends and family have parties already? Like, We don't just sell to family and friends.
No.
That's what the parties do, right? So tell everyone
Yeah.
why your friends and family don't run away from you every time they see you, and that you're not just selling to family and friends.
Totally. So, I mean, you may start with your family and friends, right? But the encouragement is, hey, family and friends, can you bring somebody that I don't know, right? Can you bring a coworker? Can you bring your neighbor? Can you bring somebody that I don't know? Because then that's when your network really starts to grow, right? Because then your sister brings her neighbor Sue, and then Sue's going to have a party, and then you're going to meet all of Sue's friends and family.
Right.
You don't know any of them. Well, then, then you'll start seeing that trickle effect, because if you kept going to your friends and your family time after time, they would be shutting their blinds when they saw you coming, and they wouldn't pick up your phone call, right? That's not the desire here. You're running a business, and we're going to partner with you to give you those tools of how to expand that network and how to broaden who you know in a very comfortable way that doesn't feel like stalkerish, or you're not sending giant scripts to people and things like that. Like, you just are going to be a genuine human being as you just get to know new people. And that's what I love the most is to be able to get to know people all across the country. Like, how cool is it that we have the technology to be able to not only meet new people in our very own communities, but to also stretch that to people all across the country.
Yeah, and I know a lot of our stylist team is watching this along with their invited guests on some of these live streams, because we're live in a few places. But what would you say is the breakdown percentage? Like, let's do online versus in person. Would you say that you are 90% in person, 90% online, 10% in person? Are you 50-50? Are you 60-40? I feel like I'm about 80-20. Meaning 80% online, 20% in person. Some months may vary, but I think if I was to look at the overall year, maybe 70-30. So as you hear that, what would your percentage maybe be? Maybe you don't even live anywhere near your friends or family. You moved away, or you went to college somewhere completely different, or that's what is so fantastic about being able to cast the net so wide. Yeah. And our hostess program is one of the many programs that Park Lane doubles down on how fantastic it is, while other companies are taking it away. And that's because other companies don't want to pay for the free gifts that a hostess receives. So there are a lot of companies out there, and some of you watching may have worked for one, or maybe working for one now, where you had a hostess program, and when the girls got together and shopped, you were able to tell them how much free and discounted products they earn. And now you don't get to do that anymore. And if you want to do that, you have to put your hand in your pocket. You have to pay for those. Well, that really cuts down on your profit, doesn't it? Now, that is not something we ever have to worry about, because our hostess program is paid for by Park Lane. In addition to the fact that we have the ability to earn packages ranging from $250 incrementally, like $250, another $250, another $300, another $300. There are pieces that, will have things like a piece of the month that's to earn, so that we have the opportunity to earn at least $250 to $1,100 worth of jewelry every single month, plus whatever like extras. So this month, it's the beginning of the month. We just found out about an extra bracelet we get to earn this month, and all kinds of things. We just recently received a whole bonus set, the bubbly set that maybe is coming out soon, right? We earn that as extra, right? It's right. So
jewelry from the future.
Jewelry from the future. So these are all things that, we're able to earn, so that when we do want to do a raffle like you are getting tonight, because in a little bit we're going to be putting the survey up here, and everybody who fills out the survey is going in to win a piece of jewelry. Well, many of you might be in a VIP group of someone on our team, and you may have won something from your stylist, right? Let us know. Have you ever won something from us in an event? What about our team events, the ones that we do from this very team, where we, do stylings and then have early bird prizes and grand prizes? That's all things that we are able to do as a leader team from the jewelry that we earn. So if you've ever had an experience with a direct sales company where you were like, oh, I spent all my money, I couldn't even make any money because I was always buying things for other people. Well, there's no need for that here. We earn jewelry in the Rich Rewards program. We're also allowed to host our own show. That was something my other company didn't permit. You can host your own show and take advantage of the free things all you want. So that program with the sale, where the 2 lowest price pieces are the only pieces that you pay full price for, because then your next 1, 2, 3, or 4, your choice pieces get to be half price. When you're taking advantage of that, you're often qualified for a bonus item. The bonus item is your highest price piece for $35. Not to mention all of those extras, right? When we have things like a brand new style drop, mother pearl impression bracelet, or all these extra pieces that, you get for discounts with purchase and all these things. That fun and excitement of shopping is what builds, makes customers happy, gets great value, makes them want to host a show. And these programs are all what funds our stylist program, our compensation program. And when I went on that interview to consider making a change to Park Lane, I knew what to look for, right? Because I knew, listen, they can tell me it's 90% commission, but if people don't want what's for sale, it doesn't matter. If people aren't going to want to host a show, it doesn't matter what the percentage is. But what I was hearing was hostesses with 10 orders, like hostesses receive free jewelry. And then when 10 orders are on the party, they get double that amount. So to get $400 because 10 of your friends placed an order, I was like, who wouldn't have a party for that? That's amazing. Right. So in my head, I'm saying, oh my gosh, this is better than where I am. And then here's our compensation plan, right? So Jen, you started out 30% on all net sales, and you were, chipping away at that student loan. Then when one person joined your team and you joined a friend, so your first recruit was also a friend. And then, so now there's 35%. You moved up. Then you got to area leader, which is only 4 total people on your team. You're now earning 40% commission and 10% of what they sell. Yeah. That's really when things changed for you, right?
Definitely. It felt like, oh my gosh, that's when I finished paying off my student loans. So that I always remember that promotion because it was such a big deal of like, oh my gosh, like this is exciting. Like I think there may have been a comma in there for a weekly paycheck as well, which is so exciting. I love that we get paid weekly as well. That's such a huge perk. Especially now because my husband's in education and we only get paid once a month. And so to have my income coming in weekly is fantastic.
Tremendous. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot to run a whole family household on once a month.
It is. It is crazy.
So with that compensation program being the weekly pay, the fact that leaders do not ever get demoted once you promote to a level or once you're assigned to a level, if you come in like direct appoint like I did, then that's the level. You don't have to requalify every month. If your team doesn't meet whatever quota, you're not getting, demoted because we don't have any of that type of thing. And then on top of that, all that reliable money that you don't have to feel pressured to be, harassing people or anything like that. On top of that, there's the fun perks, right? There's the free jewelry perks. There's the Mercedes car program. Jen actually a couple of months ago was in a very unexpected car accident and ended up having to replace the family car. Well, Jen already chooses the cash for her Mercedes car program. So instead of the Mercedes, she takes a $500 a month bonus. And Otherwise, like, oh my gosh, where is that car payment coming from when you were driving a paid off car?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I was so grateful to say, okay, we're just going to pivot a little bit. And, but it was there. The money was already there. And I was so grateful that something unexpected and so terrible, wasn't as bad as it could have been because the money was there.
Yep. The 2 free vacations every year. I mean, Jen and I have been all around the world together. So many fun places, tropical places, like Hawaii and St. Martin and Key West, and where else tropical have we been?
Cabo,
right? And European places. We've been to Zurich, Switzerland together, and Paris together, and just so many wonderful places, all fully paid for by Park Lane, and so have tons of other people on our team. And we just started right now earning a trip to Costa Rica, all inclusive, spectacular resort, all expenses paid. If that's something that interests you, you want to put that on your survey, right? Because we want to know what it is that you are looking for. Are you like me and Jen, who needed, a $400 or $600 a month supplement? Or are you needing to replace an entire income? Is there overtime that you or your spouse was working that got taken away? Like, one of the things that is so wonderful about this, and Jen alluded to this earlier, is that there isn't a boss, right? So you're deciding what's the income you want to make. And then our job as leaders is to help you get there. And we do that with resources provided. We do that by giving you the party scripts and the images to post and the training every week and the new stylist training when you come on board. And with, most importantly, your launch party. If you're thinking of getting started, we do a launch party for you. And at that party, we're showing our jewelry. We are taking the orders. We are taking care of every single guest. We are doing all the heavy lifting for you so that when we hit that part at the end of the party, we tell you, guess what? Your paycheck on the party is, and we tell you the paycheck on the party, typically $150, $200, $250, $300 or more. These are all normal, realistic numbers. And there are people that are going to put in the comments, oh, mine was way more than that. Like, you get the paycheck on the party, you get all the hostess jewelry on the party. And then for your $129, you get to shop for $500 worth of additional jewelry of your choice. So now your kit was probably paid for by the party paycheck. You have all of the jewelry in the kit. You have all of your hostess jewelry. You have a paycheck. You have whatever shows were booked from your party to continue on. If there was somebody at the party that wants to join, we sign them up under you. And you are up and running. So that's what's available to you now. So we're about to put into the comments here the survey. And you're going to let us know on that survey where you are right now. Because if you're like, I'm in, then that's what you're going to write. 5, sign me up now. You can have a functioning, up and running website in the next 10 minutes. That's how long it takes to sign up. You can go to your stylist website, click join now, and in 30 minutes from now, you could have picked out kit jewelry, have a website up and running, and a launch party up and planned and ready. Now, some of you already have a party open with your stylist. That means that, like, you're already there. All you have to do is tell your stylist, okay, I want to sign up. And then that whole party gets turned over to you. And if you really want to think about it a little bit more, then just book the party. Because then we'll do the party first. And then at the end, we'll say, okay, here's what you earned. Here's what the paycheck would be. Do you want it? Either you say yes, you get paid and you get all the jewelry, or you say no and you just get the jewelry. Nothing bad happens.
Totally. There's always something to say yes to, right? There's different options. So just say yes to something, even if it's just the party with your stylist and be spoiled with the jewelry. That is the perfect yes for some, and then others we're going to see on our welcome call in the next week, which is so exciting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we are now putting that survey into the comments. And guess what? The prize for this tonight is the necklace that Jen has on as her lower level, or lower layer, I should say. which is the
Love that.
Collins necklace.
Such a great one. One of my faves for sure.
I mean, it has that, Y shape. You can use it to frame other
Mhm.
necklaces. You could even have your own everyday necklace in this spot. But this is one of our top selling pieces. And we want one of you that completes that survey to be the new proud owner of this necklace. Well, not this one. This one's mine. And of course, that's jewelry that I earned in a company program and cost me $0 to give away today.
So awesome.
So
thank you so much for Michele, just for your knowledge. And I'm so grateful for the way that you lead our team and how, we can come together as a top selling team in the whole company. And we work together so well. And I'm so grateful for just your leadership here on our team. So thank you for taking the time to share your time with us and share a little bit more about Park Lane and Team Shine On.
Yes, thank you so much, Jen. I always love doing these chats with you. And we can't wait to see all of your surveys, answer all of your questions. And we hope to see you soon. Thanks so much, everybody.